where to look at.
Okay, we are live. Just
Hi.
look at your camera. Hi. Yeah, we are live
Oh,
now. So, okay, let's invite some people to join us. Let's see. Let's just hold on for some people to come on. Yeah. All right, the audio is good.
you're welcome.
Okay, so the audio is good. All right.
Nice. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Welcome, welcome. I can see one person has joined us. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Kindly drop a
My
comment.
pleasure.
Kindly drop a comment so I can see someone has joined us. Wow, we have two people here with us now. Please drop a comment so I can see. But first of all, give StreamYard the permission to show your comment so that we can get to see the person commenting. Okay? Give StreamYard the permission. Give StreamYard the permission. Thank you
Me?
so much. Thank you so much.
Okay.
No, not you. Them, the audience. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's another beautiful day. Welcome. Happy Sunday. How are we all doing? I believe we are having a splendid Sunday evening. We already have our guests with us in the house. Thank you so
Hello.
much. Thank you so much. It's so good to have you here, Janice. Honestly, I really, really appreciate your presence with us today.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Sandra.
much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sandra.
Okay, so today we are looking at the importance of social media for public diplomacy. The importance of social media for public diplomacy. But before we go into that, let me just give a brief introduction of who our guest is. I know some of us have seen her bio that I put up there for us to go through, but for the sake of the people that didn't really go through it, let me just give a brief rundown of the introduction. Okay, so Janice Helena da Silva is a humanitarian diplomatist and a global goodwill ambassador, awarded with the International Peace Leader Certificate from the Institute of International Peace Leaders. She has over 20 years of professional experience in development and international management, mainly with the United Nations system. She has an educational background in diplomatic studies, international cooperation, and social sciences. Her professional experiences include work with international organizations, public and private entities.
Yes, my name.
She's a motivated and versatile professional. She's a very good team player who easily assumes leadership responsibilities. Over her career, she has maintained her passion for contacts with communities at field level and to travel discovering new cultures, being a motivational speaker and coach, and promoting peace and human development among the people of the world. Now, the most exciting news about this is that she is from Cabo Verde. She's a citizen of Cabo Verde, born in Praia. She's the writer of the poem Samuela at the anthology Mujeres e sus Destinos. Did I get that right?
Yes,
Wow.
very, very right.
Wow. So
Mujeres
she's
de
a,
destinos.
yeah, thank you so
Women
much.
and their destiny. More or
Wow,
less.
women and the destinies.
Yes, yes.
Awesome, awesome. She's an advocate and co-sponsor of the Fulton Community Center, supporting children and vulnerable families of Price City through capacity development and local economic development projects. Retro dresses designer with her own brand, Mina Retro, that empowers women slum dwellers through fashion. Currently, she's the ambassador for Africa at the Global Social Economic and Financial Evolution Network in Nigeria. She's also the member of the International Advisory Board of Goodwill Ambassadors 5 Points Youth Foundation USA. She's also the member of the United Nations Global Compact SDG Global Goodwill Ambassador designated for the ECOWAS Community and Economic Development, localizing SDG for sustainable communities and cities, and advocating for the tourism for SDGs to the 5 Points Youth Foundation in USA. She's also the ambassador for ECOWAS at the National Human Rights and Humanitarian Federation. And so this is just a brief history, a brief profile of our guest, and today she is here with us in the Startup Tribe. Honestly, it's such an honor to have you here in our presence, ma'am. It's such an honor to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are so excited, we are so happy, and we are ready to learn from you. And so guys, today she's going to be sharing with us on the importance of social media for public diplomacy. So welcome once again, Janice. Welcome to the Startup Tribe. We are so excited to have you here. So please tell us, what is public diplomacy actually? We would love to know, because I know a lot of people must have heard about being diplomatic, but they might not really know what exactly it is to be diplomatic. And so we would like you to give us a brief understanding on what public diplomacy is actually all about. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. Thank you for being so generous by introducing me. And I'm so happy to be with you today. It's not easy at all to define diplomacy. We hear a lot of definitions on diplomacy, and all the definitions are right, because diplomacy is a field that changes every day, I must say, especially now within the more and more complex world. But to resume, I always like to say that a diplomat is a person, is a goodwill person who makes himself or herself available to a cause, and a diplomat is someone that defends the human being. Well, it defends his country, it represents his country within the international community. Multilaterally, for example, when we work for the UN, or bilaterally when we are ambassadors from a certain country, accredited ambassador in another country. Public diplomacy, it's a quite new concept within diplomacy. Now, you know that when you think about diplomats, you think about these people, these very formal individuals that work most of the time in secrecy to defend their interests, to defend their flag, to defend their country, to defend the relations they want to make with other countries or with organizations, etc. Nowadays, we cannot, do diplomacy this way, only this way anymore, because we see more and more different non-traditional actors that come into the diplomacy field, into the diplomacy arena. For example, the NGOs. Now they play a very important and strategic role in the international relations.
Wow.
You see companies that play a huge and important and also strategic role in the international relations. So now it's not only about uh, the ministry, the traditional ministries of foreign affairs that have
Okay.
diplomats, but you can now you should, in order for the diplomacy to be, you know, smart and to be effective, you should interact with this non-traditional actors. Uh, for example, now so public diplomacy is about this, is about
Okay.
social media. It has a very interlinked relation
Social
with
media.
social media, you know, because now the tendency is to break the secrecy regarding diplomacy, regarding making diplomacy. For example, if a state wants to communicate its policies, now it has to go on a public diplomacy basis.
Mm-hmm.
For example, now we see that the populations they have a key role in the success of the government's policies. Otherwise, you know, the yard between the governments, the officials, and the population, they have to communicate. So this is
Okay.
where public diplomacy comes and plays a
Wow.
strategic role. Huh? What we
Okay.
are doing here, it's public diplomacy because we are, you know, making the link between
To
diplomacy
government
and social media.
media.
Yes. So it's
Okay.
about, to resume, it's about communication. It's about using social media. It's about using radio, radios, televisions, newspapers, etc., in order to do this external communication of a state affair.
Okay. Wow. So
Yes.
I would love you to throw more light regarding the link between public diplomacy and social media. Like, what's their relationship actually? How do they relate? Bringing social media and public diplomacy together. I would love you to
Yes.
throw more light into that.
Yes, as I've mentioned, public diplomacy has to do with the communication, the external communication. You know, governments, organizations, they have their internal communication, but they now see that the success of their actions has to do with how they invest in
Relate
external
with the
communication.
people. Okay.
How, yes,
Okay.
you well said, how they relate with the
Yeah.
people. Because at the end
With
of
the
the day,
people.
for example, the UN, in order for it to be more and more effective, it has to do on how the policies they influence positively the behavioral changes, for example, vis-a-vis to different, different
Okay.
sectors. So this is the link
Mm-hmm.
that I find between public diplomacy
Between
and social
public
media. So
diplomacy and
social
okay.
media is a very powerful tool that public diplomacy has today for good, but also
Wow.
for
Wow.
for
Wow.
the not good, because you know people they
Not good.
behave
Yeah, it has its advantage
according
and the
to their
disadvantage.
advantages and disadvantages. Exactly. So
Disadvantage, yes.
I see social media as a very strategic tool that a diplomat should, take into consideration in order for for his work to really connect, talk to the people he serves. Because finally, a diplomat
Yeah.
serves the people. Otherwise,
The
we will
people.
not. Yes. Otherwise, it's not a very smart diplomacy practice.
Yeah, wow. And
Yeah.
I think this
Yeah.
is actually where the change is coming in. This is actually where the change is coming in because look at what happened with COVID 19. basically everything had to go online. And where did it have to
Online.
happen? Social media. Everyone
Yes.
had to go online. Even the government had to leverage the media to pass across information, while everyone stays at home, everyone stays on lockdown, no movement, so just like you said, social media is actually a very, very important tool in promoting the diplomat. And if as a diplomat you want your intention, or you're intentional about serving the people, then you should be using social media, because that is where the people are. And so the fastest way to get to the people now is through social media. I personally can't remember the last time I actually sat down to listen to a TV news or to listen to the radio, but I'm always
Same
on
here.
social media. So you see,
Same here.
social
Same here.
media is actually a very, very important tool when it comes to public diplomacy.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
what you just said is very, very important. Everyone that is in the public office as a diplomat, or whatever position that you are holding, as long as you're there to serve the people, then you should be ready to leverage this tool called social media to be able to
Yes.
get across to your people, get across to the audience, and
Exactly.
get to make impact and transformation in their lives. Okay, so tell us. I would like to know, or would like to know, how can we accelerate the SDGs with public diplomacy? How can we accelerate the SDGs with public diplomacy? Because just like we discussed earlier, a lot of people, a lot of youth are becoming aware of the sustainable development goals, and they've realized that in order to join forces with the government to build the economy, to build the country, we have to align ourselves, or align whatever it is that we are doing with the SDGs, so that we can help lift up the nation from wherever it is currently. We, the youths, we have to get involved. We have to, participate in the development, and the UN has brought up the sustainable development goals to help us work with the world in order to achieve this. So I'd love to know, how does this accelerate the SDGs? How does public diplomacy accelerate the SDGs?
You know, as you before answering your question, I would
Okay.
like to I would like to. Am I with you, Sandra?
Yes,
I
yes, you're
am,
with me. I
right?
can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 And I can hear you. Um,
Okay.
you know that COVID came to show the importance of public diplomacy, and it came to show that organizations should, but all of them, should
Okay.
definitely invest in communication, because most of the time
Okay.
what you see is that uh, when you come to budget lines, for example, in this development programs, a few part goes to communication, to external communications, etc. So now, well, unfortunately, we have COVID here to show us the great importance to really invest in external communication, because it's a matter of
Yeah.
accountability as well.
Okay.
It,
Okay.
it's a matter of uh, people, they pay they pay their taxes. So the organization, especially the public organization, they should uh, tell the population what they are standing for,
Okay.
where their the money we collect on taxes, uh, where does this is money is put it on. So COVID comes to show us the importance of definitely investing in communication. Well, regarding
Okay.
the SDG acceleration, yes, you know that when we all member states and UN petitioners, etc., in 2015 where for win the SDGs, well, no one at least thought that we in 2020 we would be going through this pandemic. So
Of course.
yes, so this makes definitely us to think how we can accelerate the SDG agenda implementation. Public diplomacy,
Mm-hmm.
SDGs, they should be very human based. They should be
Yeah.
very people based in order
Mm-hmm.
for them to be achieved. They should be.
Mm-hmm.
If you make an analysis of the SDG, you will see that they are very human rights based,
Yes,
etc.
they
So
they are.
now people people at the center must be the motto, in order to accelerate the SDGs. And you have social media to help you do this job. Hmm?
Okay.
How do you
Wow.
engage youth, for example? How do you engage youth? How do you engage uh, different, populations, etc. through social media? Because
Media.
nowadays we are all uh, in the social media. Okay, we can now think about those who don't have access. So it's time to democratize the access
Okay.
to
Yeah.
social media. And it's time to make, for example, the internet free to everyone. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? We should
Yeah.
advocate for that because
Wow.
in this COVID pandemic, we see that the access to internet comes as a basic human right. Hmm?
Yeah.
It comes as a basic human right. So, we should, organize in order to have the, very concrete policies regarding the access to
It's.
internet. So the
Mm-hmm.
access to social media, to vulnerable populations, to populations that face poverty, for example. So public diplomacy in this field of, communicating, investing in communicating what the organization stands for, to communicate their action plannings, etc. And like this, they will mobilize more populations, more experts, more people coming from different sectors. So like this, they can accelerate. And another thing has to do with, there are a lot of projects going on. While we are talking,
Yeah.
many projects have been approved. So the challenge here is related to the implementation of the projects. Because I think we have, all of us, human beings, we have good ideas, we have strategic ideas. The challenge is how to communicate and how to partner for these ideas to
Yes.
become, you understand? So now I
Manifest.
remember
Yes.
yeah, I remember the SDG number 17 that has to do with partnership, with strategic partnership. So that's the secret, that's the strategy.
Yeah.
How we make all these projects and programs that are going on around the world in order to make them to really communicate amongst. You understand? So public
Yeah.
diplomacy is a tool that really makes this happen. But of
Yes.
course, we should invest on external communication. We should invest also in the, localization of the SDGs, because this is a strategy as well to accelerate the SDGs.
Okay.
What really matter, for example, what is uh, important in Cabo Verde must be, different from what is,
What is
the
important in
priority in
Nigeria?
Nigeria, in
Nigeria.
USA,
Yeah.
in UK, and Bangladesh, etc., etc. So,
Yeah.
and I think the SDGs now they are more, smart than the MDGs, because the SDGs really gives a platform for it to be localized within
Okay.
the member states. So we have
Okay.
public diplomacy. Now we have radios, we have televisions, we have especially social media, because as you mentioned, you mentioned, few of us go on television. We are
Yeah, few of
all,
us do that on
yes,
social media.
on social
Yeah.
media. So we should use social media in order to strengthen the capacities. You
Okay.
see, for example, in my generation, we didn't have this uh, culture of having of going to universities online, for example.
Yeah, yeah,
Huh?
that's
But
true.
now,
Yeah.
you can
It's
do your major, your master, your
masters, your
PhD, your
PhD from the
post
comfort of
PhD
your home.
from the
Of
comfort
course.
of your home, and that
Of
is
course.
amazing, and that is
Yeah.
how it should be. Huh? Because the advantages
Mm-hmm.
are a lot, are so many, that
Yeah.
we should more and more invest on this type of education, the
Okay.
distance learning education. Um,
Yeah.
we have COVID. So COVID is a well, is something that should make us to rethink all the modus operandum,
Mm-hmm.
in order to accelerate the SDGs. You have to localize it. You have to have strategic partners to support
Mm-hmm.
in the
Yeah.
implementation, and you have to have
Novice.
finally what we call at the UN, for example, the communication
Okay.
strategy. So this communication strategy, they have to have a budget, they have to be implemented. So that is one of the ways to accelerate the SDGs.
The stages. Okay. Wow,
And
that's
to put,
actually awesome. Okay,
yes.
continue. Sorry.
Now I was
Go
just,
ahead.
in order to conclude this one, to say that youth has a very strategic importance here, because youth people, they are the ones that are very creative, more than us, that
Mm-hmm.
we are more than 40 years.
Advanced.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's true. We have to admit it.
Yeah, no,
So
it's true. It's
yeah,
true.
yeah. So investing, putting youth at the center of the public policies, I think it's an
Mm-hmm.
interesting strategy.
No,
It's a
it is.
certain and a right strategy.
No, it is because also the youths are the ones that are also majorly using the social media space.
Yes.
The
Yeah,
youths are
yeah,
the
yeah.
one majorly using the social media space, and today a lot of youths are doing so many amazing things online.
Hmm.
They're doing so many amazing things online, things that they never
Yes.
imagined that they could do offline. But thanks
Hmm.
to social media has given everyone the platform. Like
The
I
platform,
said in one of my posts, it has given everyone a voice. It has given
a
everyone a
voice.
voice. It has given everyone a platform. So the question is, how are you using your own platform? How are you using your own platform? Okay. And
Yes.
so now
Yes.
that you mentioned the youth, I actually want to know, because a lot of people in this community watching this right now are youths, and I believe they would love to know how
Yeah.
they can now implement the SDGs into whatever it is that they are doing, because we also see people that are actually doing that using the sustainable development goal from number 1 to 17. So we'd like to know, how can we then implement these goals into what we are currently doing individually as youths in the online space? Can you help us gain insight into
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. First of all, what I recommend is that we go through the SDGs. We have to
Okay.
know it very well.
Okay.
Okay?
Wow.
We have to know the SDGs very well. Because by, reading, by studying the SDGs, the 17 SDGs,
SDGs.
uh, I am absolutely sure that the ideas will people it will
Pop up.
pop up into thanks uh,
Yeah.
into your mind. And
Okay.
what you will see is that you will conclude that you are already implementing it.
One
You
of
know,
them.
you
Wow.
are, yes, we are already, because this SDGs, this global agenda, they are based on what, different countries are doing for so
Mm-hmm.
many years now. So they are
Yeah.
not new. What is new to me is the platforms we should
Okay.
set up in order to
Yeah.
implement the SDGs. Okay,
Okay.
to fight poverty, to fight, what I think is that the tools, they are there. For
All right.
example, uh, as Cape Verdean, even if I am a UN staff member, I cannot go to your country, to Nigeria, and teach Nigeria how to fight poverty, because
Of
Nigeria
course.
knows how to fight poverty, and
Poverty. Of
so
course.
on, so on. So what I've mentioned before, the localization of the SDGs is very important.
Okay.
Another
Okay.
thing is, for the youth to, because the SDGs, they, normally the member states, they have what they call the roadmap implementation. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
your country has
Okay.
it. Most of the countries, they approve
They do.
the roadmap implementation. Well, there are
Okay.
still countries that must approve it, but now, you can see countries that have already approved their localizations and roadmap implementation. So a youth must know what his leader is doing to implement the SDG, to
Mm-hmm.
accelerate the SDG. So,
Okay.
one, you have to know better the SDG, and to see locally what is your country is doing to implement
To
it.
implement
Well,
it. Okay.
yes, and you come with your ideas. You know, yesterday, a young girl was asking me, "Well, I have this idea, the startup idea. How can I make it? How can I sell it?" I told her,
Okay.
"Okay, you create a page, create a Facebook page, create a Facebook page. You know,
Hmm.
make this, available to the audience.
To
Create
the
an
world.
audience."
Yeah.
Yes, because it's not only about creating a Facebook page, but it's
No,
it's
it's not.
about
Having an audience.
investing. So
Exactly.
have an audience. So you
Yeah.
have to invest to having an audience. And she said, "Yes, okay, and okay, I'm not a social media specialist, even if I love the social media field, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, the important now is to create an audience. So once you have an audience, it will be more
Easy.
easy for you to sell what you want to
Your
sell,
idea,
to
of
sell
course,
your
with the
idea.
online
As
space.
you've
Yeah.
mentioned, Sandra, how you are, taking advantages of this platform.
Mm-hmm.
So my recommendation is that you read the SDGs very well. You understand. If you don't understand, just communicate with your peers to really, make it uh, top-down language, and then
Okay.
make a search on what your country is doing, which are the legal tools your country have to
To
implement the
implement.
SDGs, and
Wow.
start to create an audience on social media, and start with your peers discussing your startup ideas,
Okay.
even if, because what we should pay attention here is that we all matter. We people of the
Yeah.
world, we all
Matter.
matter. So the little you do has an
Contribute.
impact, contributes,
Yeah.
because it influences your peer. When
Mm-hmm.
early in 2000, I think it was UNICEF, the UN Office on Child,
Okay.
uh, we approved what we call the peer-to-peer education tools. because
Mm-hmm.
what we think is that women, between women, you talk better than of certain subjects than
Yeah.
if you were put it with the men.
Men,
Youth,
of
young
course,
people, they talk better if they
with
are
their
together.
fellow youths.
Yes, this fellow, approach. So peer education. We should invest as well on peer education, on peer
Education.
training. On peer. What's this? Modern today to say on peer coaching.
Okay.
You see, so we have to be motivated. We have to have the self-esteem, have to be a dreamer, but a strategic dreamer. And it has to do with self-esteem. I really
Yeah.
appreciate, what you do, Sandra, because you
Wow, thank
contribute
you.
to Africans' self-esteem. And as African, I
Yeah.
feel very proud of your work because you are
Thank
doing
you.
it right. No, definitely you are doing it right. And a lot of Africans, because we Africans, we don't need them, with all due respect to them, we don't need them to come and tell us what to do because we know exactly what to do because
What
we
to
know
do?
our own challenges and problems and we know our own solutions. So to
Mm-hmm.
have this self-esteem that what the little I do has an impact globally
In this society. Yeah.
in the society, in the continent, and regional and internationally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. That's awesome. Honestly, that's awesome. I think everyone listening to this should just pick out what Janice has said. Go study the SDGs and discover the tools that the country has in implementing the SDGs and see how you can be able to use it to do whatever it is you're doing, because no matter how little it is, it matters. The little contribution you're bringing to the society matters a lot. The
That's for
little
sure.
impact you're making, it matters a lot. Even on social media, that's why I still wonder why people are not using social media to actually cause change, to actually cause transformation. It's no longer like how it was back in the days. Now you're a voice and you must be heard. And the place that is very, very easy and faster for you to be heard is actually on social media. Before, people might say, okay, they are going to look for events where they can go to speak in order to be heard, or you want to do a rally, or you want to pay someone to come and speak and all this stuff. But it doesn't have to be that anymore. Just having your own platform, your own timeline, from there you can actually cause the change that you so much desire. You can actually cause the change that you so much desire. So please, Jenny, tell us, how can social media help in the development of Africa? How can it help the youths in the development of Africa? Because we would love to know how we can, use social media to develop this country, in as much as we are trying to implement the SDGs in whatever we want to do or we are currently doing. We'd like to know how we can use it more to actually develop Africa before we start going international.
Mhm. As I've said before, here in Africa, we know our own challenges and solutions. Okay?
Yeah.
I feel very, very happy when I see different, a lot actually, startups going on through Africa. We are in the startup generation. So
Yes, we are.
your show is Startup Tribe. I really like it.
Yeah.
We
Well,
all
thank you.
belong. Yes, we should all belong to this startup tribe. So congratulations once again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Sandra, definitely. Um, your question is quite challenging because unfortunately, in Africa, the access to internet is not universal yet. It's not
Yes,
universal.
it's not.
Yes. For example,
It's not.
if someone has a smartphone and that person is on Messenger or on Facebook, his priority or her priority most of time it's not, studying, is not developing intellectually in the social media.
Mm-hmm.
He has other, fair
Yeah.
priorities. For
Yeah.
example, in Cabo Verde, where I am now, um, the it's very expensive. The internet, the costs are very high for one to have, access to learn
To
in the
be.
internet. For example, to
Hmm.
go and you know uh, sign in on a course, taking an online course is
Mm-hmm.
expensive. Is really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this challenge. We still have this challenge in Africa, but
Mm-hmm.
the solutions are there as well. So it's a matter of, the political will of the leaders, because, the political will of the leaders has an impact on the development of the society. So we
Of
have
course.
this challenge, but not only in Africa. We have it now globally. We have it now globally.
Okay.
So how to survive in this scenario is to, I think, the peer education, the peer to peer, still relevant here.
Okay.
Uh, yes, for example, you, Sandra, with another person, you two, when we are two, we think better than one. No? This is the
Mm-hmm.
common
Of course.
sense. Yes, this is the
Yes.
common sense. So the little you do, I insist on this because uh, in challenging situations, in poverty situations, scenarios, we should be, we have to be creative. So
Of
creativity,
course.
creativity,
Hmm. Okay.
because we all have this capacity, we all have this skill to be creative because we think, we are human beings, we think.
Yes.
So we should come up with the solutions locally, in sometimes in your slum, in your area, in your neighborhood. People of the world, in your slum, in your area, in your neighborhood, invest on your self-esteem. Consider yourself as unique because you are unique. So consider yourself as unique. You are unique. Once you consider yourself as unique, once you have the self-esteem, you will come up with the solutions, creative solutions. Well,
Hmm.
we are in a context, in a global context, where we should definitely be creative. Otherwise, it will be more difficult
Mm-hmm.
for us to achieve what we want to achieve. So let's be creative. Let's invest our
Creative.
time in being creative, in thinking about because I'm sure the ideas will come.
It.
So in
Wow.
Africa, we have the challenges, but we should sometimes, I think it's a matter of changing the narrative, changing the narrative. And how do we change the narrative? We have social media. Those who have access to social media should be influencers of those we don't have. But not
Wow.
only the web communication, the traditional
Yeah.
communication is still important. We should invest. Now I'm addressing the leaders of the companies, of the organizations, of the states. Let's invest, let's put budgets, let's direct budget in communication, in training these people that really want to their life to be better. So let's give a hand. Let's give a hand. And the way is education. Education still very important. Education.
Important. Yeah, very, very.
I think so. Being creative, thinking that you are unique, you are important to this world, even if people don't come to see you, even if they don't come to ask you, but you're still important. So make a difference locally. Make a difference locally, because you will. You will. That is how we make the change. Use social media, for example. You, Sandra, you are a motivational speaker on social media. Keep on doing your work. Create this community. Create not only the audience, but the community, the tribe. And it should be more and more bigger, because the future happening in the present are you guys, youth.
Wow.
The future of the world is in your hands. It is in your hands. It is in your hand. We, the generations, my generation and previous generation, we made so, basic mistakes that you guys, you don't need to make it. You don't need to make it. Because you are clever than us. You are more intelligent than us. Yes, you have social media. Now if you want to organize something, it's more, easy in principle than before.
Yeah.
So use it. Be creative.
Wow.
The little you do has an impact globally.
Wow. Honestly, thank you so much, guys. Please, if you're getting value from this section, just drop in the comment section that you're getting value. Honestly, you've just said it all. Honestly, say we have the problem, but also we have the solution. And honestly, the solution lies in us. The solution lies in us. If you're hearing this, if you're watching this webinar, you're listening to this, I want you to say to yourself, the solution that my country needs to become better lies in me. The solution lies in me. And just like you said, only when we start looking in that direction that we are going to become creative. It's only when we start looking in that direction that ideas are going to pop up. So if you're getting value from this video, please drop it in the comment section. Let me know that you're getting value. If you have questions as well, drop your questions in the comment section. Honestly, there's this saying that if you say you can, you can. If you say you can't, you can't. It all starts with the mind. It all starts with the mind. And the earlier the youth arises and know that, you see, the country, the world that we so much desire, we don't have to keep on waiting for the leaders to give it to us. Yes, the leaders has their role and the part to play, but we have to show them that we can. We have to show them that we can come up with ideas, that we can come up with solutions, that we don't have to be dependent, that it's all about creativity. And the only way you can get creative, the only way the ideas are going to come up is if you believe that you are unique. It's only when you believe that you are different. It's only when you believe that it is possible for you. If you don't believe that you are unique, if you don't believe that it is possible, if you don't believe that you can, then you're going to while away your time. So I believe we all listening to this are African youth, and you've just heard our guest speaker tell us how we can contribute to the development of Africa, even using social media. You just have to start up something. Stop waiting, stop being dependent. Believe, get up, you understand, go do something, get involved, get involved in what is happening in the world, starting from where you are. Even if you're in the slums, just as she said, you can actually make a change from there. You can actually change the narrative. But first, you have to believe that you can. You have to embrace the fact that you're unique. You have to believe that you are different and that you can actually cause the positive change that you
Sorry, I
so
was
much
thinking.
desire. Alright,
Yeah.
no problem. So,
But you take it
so
from
you,
your hand and then you send it to
oh, okay, I will, I will.
guys.
So
Take
please
pictures.
let
Take
us,
pictures.
yeah, just screenshot this video, okay? So please, please, please get
So joking.
involved. You get involved with the economy, get involved. She's just shown us how we can commit to developing Africa, how we can contribute even using social media. So please get involved. If you've not been intentional about what you've been doing online, yes, we know the data, the network can be a challenge, but trust me, one person can actually come up with the idea. It's just about being creative. One person can actually come up with the idea on how to solve this data problem for the people. But if we are not creative, then how can we bet the solution? Just
Yeah.
as much as we have the problem, the solution we are seeking for lies within us. But we have to look within in order to manifest this. Okay? So thank you so much, Janice, for showing us how we can, develop Africa through social
My
media.
pleasure.
Now,
My pleasure.
I would love you to tell us the roles that we can play as youth in international development. We've looked at Africa, how we can develop Africa through social media and also off social media. Now, how can we connect to the international space? Because social media is not just about we connecting with the people in our locality. We also want to break the limits, break that border and see how we can gain entrance into the international space. How can we achieve this? Please tell us.
Yes. You know, even in in everywhere, countries they have their networks. They have the
Yeah.
network. Their their international relations network. Their thematic international, regional, and national networks. So remember that when I told you that we should read the SDGs and we should go,
SDGs.
yes, and ask our leaders, and we should know because sometimes uh, we see the government so far from us as citizens that we don't have this curiosity to see, for example, how many of us read the government's plan of actions, for example, few
Okay.
of the seasons,
Yeah.
and that is something important. So, what is the right on the official documents? No, since most of them are in the internet, in their
Mhm.
websites, etc. So
Mhm.
once
Yeah.
again, study, do your studies on what is your government standing for, and because once you do it, you will find out the networks. How they do this international movements. Hmm? How they
Okay.
do international relation, and like
Okay.
that you can make propositions on how they can include youth if youth is not yet included, for example.
Mhm. Yeah.
The most of time we have so many NGOs working on the same subject or subjects that are really cross-cutting subjects. So these NGOs must communicate. They must have a common platform to communicate.
Yeah, of course,
So
sure.
the structures, they are there. We don't need to invent the structures because the
No.
UN is an expert in giving orientations on the structures that must be and bodies that must be put in place. So citizens, they must know these bodies. They must know the structures in order for them to be, to feel included into the country affair. That is how you communicate internationally. But not only.
Okay.
You have nowadays, you have social media. Social media, you
Yeah.
communicate to wherever you want to communicate. So social media,
Yeah.
once again, this topic, our topic today is I hope I'm
Hello.
still alive. Yeah,
Okay,
now
I
I
can
see
hear
you.
you.
So social
Yeah.
media has an impact. Yeah. So this topic, I was saying that this topic is really strategic and it's really a central topic because
Yeah.
the relation between social media and I wanted to tell you another thing. Diplomats nowadays, they are not only those who serve the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You, Sandra,
Yeah.
I see you as a public diplomat because what you are doing has to do with public diplomacy.
Yeah.
You see? So we are all
Yeah.
diplomats because
Yeah. We
diplomats,
are.
yeah, we are. And we are a goodwill person. We are persons of a goodwill that really want, through our work, to change the world, right? So, like
Yeah.
this, we are all diplomats. So, in order to be on international arena, you have to start it locally. You have to know how your country do international relations because they have their own agenda. But this
Okay.
agenda, as I told you, now one cannot make diplomacy as a secret anymore
Yeah.
in a
It's not.
social media. No, 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 no. So if you seek for the information, you will have it.
Of
Once
course.
you have it,
Yeah.
yes, once you have it, you will see, you will make an analysis on how is your country, how is your organization, how is your community, because sometimes you live in a neighborhood where your neighbor has very interesting and creative connections internationally. And
Yeah.
since you didn't knock on this door, you
So
didn't know
sick
about it. Yes.
about it.
So
Oh,
yes,
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it starts locally. And the tools, the bodies and the structures, they are there. The challenge is for them to be operational, right? The operationality you know of the different bodies and structures, etc. Because they are there. So you should know it, and if they are not there, you create it. You create it.
Wow. Wow.
You don't need to wait for your minister, for your prime minister, for your president, etc. You come with the
I love
politician, you
that.
create it. Yes, you
Yeah.
create it. So you create the conditions. The creativity has to do with this
Wow.
as well, to create the conditions. So I think we should do a lot of things and together. The world is more and more challenging due to the pandemic, but not only because
Not only due to the pandemic, yeah.
other
There are
challenges
other
are still
challenges.
there. They are still
Yeah.
there more and more. And I'm not going to, enumerate them because We all know those challenges we are facing, and we should be creative. We should have self-esteem. We should build. We should invest in our self-esteem. Have a good, state of mind because it helps. In few days we will celebrate the one of the international days against suicide, for example, and that he starts with the mind. So
It starts
we
with the
should,
mind.
yeah, we should have a positive mind. We should build. So teachers of the world,
Mm-hmm.
coach of the world, invest
Yeah.
in making this coaching on how, because sometimes this, all the skills, they are not taken for granted by
Yeah.
a lot of persons, right? A lot of people. So we are in a position of being, influencers, motivational
Mm-hmm.
speakers, coach, etc. We have a key role to play
To
in
play.
order to, in order to teach, in order to share. I don't like more this term teach, because we are all teachers of each
We are
other's, right?
teachers. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are
That's right.
teachers of each other's,
That's
because
right.
we all matter. If the conditions are not there, be creative. Well, if you don't have a room to have a meeting, just go in the street, just take the tree, make a seat. We Africans, we do it a lot,
Yeah, we
and
do. We
start,
do.
yeah, and start discuss what you have to discuss, and start to, to make a plan, because making a planning is, it's really important as well. We have to learn more and more how to plan, and how does our plans, they should be more, smart, more operational plans, because
Yeah.
sometimes these plans are so, uh, not feasible. So we should, yeah, we should more and more have the attention, pay the attention on the plans we set up, on the operational plans, etc.
We set up. Yeah.
Yes,
It's not just about
and
planning. It's been taking act. It's about taking action
yes, to implement.
to implement.
The challenge is still the implementation of the plans. But keep
Yeah.
this on mind. We all matter. Keep a positive mind. And even if
Mm-hmm.
you live in a slum, even if you don't have access to your basic human rights, water, sanitation, health, education, electricity, you still matter. You still
You still
important.
matter.
You still
Yeah.
matter. You still important. You still a human being. And it's not your
Yes.
fault. It's
No.
not your
It's
fault.
not.
Not your fault. So the world is made to be appropriate by all of us.
Yeah.
All of us.
It is. Wow. It
Yes.
is. Honestly, thank you so much. If you don't have the opportunity, create your own
Create
opportunity.
it.
Create your own.
Create it.
Create your own
Create it.
opportunity. We don't. I think it's time we need to arise and begin to create opportunities for ourselves. We need to arise, create opportunities for ourselves. Be creative in what you're doing, and you'll be able to change the narrative, make impact through what you're doing. But you
Yes.
just have to arise, plan, take action, create the opportunity. If all the doors close, create your own door, open it, and get to work. Honestly, thank you so much. It's been an amazing
I thank
time. It's been an
thank you so much.
amazing night. It's been an amazing webinar. Guys, please, if you're watching, kindly drop your questions if you have any. We are just going to take one more questions and then wrap up the webinar. Please let me know if you have any questions. Drop it in the comment section so we can get to answer it. So, Janice, the last but not the least, I'd love you to share with us how social media contributes to peace and development. How social media contributes to peace and development, and also how we can deal with fake news in this challenging world. Because today, yes, the reason why most people are, will I use the word, scared about being an influencer, just like you said, we should all become influencers in the social media, in the online space. But then I know that the reason why most people are like skeptical about coming out to the public face is because of trolls, because of criticism. You understand? People throw negative energy, negative comments, negative propagandas towards you. And when you know that all you've been doing so far is to help create change, be positive, you understand, and you just see someone wake up one day and they're like bringing just the fake news, you understand, putting up fake news just to bring down your image, which is one of the negative sides to this social media something. And because of it, many people are actually skeptical about putting themselves out there in the social media space. They will rather be offline and do whatever it is that they are doing than actually come out here. But we know that if they come out here, they can actually be much more, they can actually do much more. So please, how can we actually use social media to promote peace and development, and also to be able to deal with fake news in this challenging world?
Well, wow, these questions are really tough for me. No, especially this fake news. Well, I think you said it all. Social media has this very positive side, but it has its less positive side that has to do with this, fake news, even the hate propaganda. The hate propaganda, and which is the opposite of peace, etc. Well, how to deal with it? We know that if we are on the social media, this fake news propaganda, the propaganda of hate is there. Unfortunately is there. We have to be, in this case, we have to be smart in order to see, well, if a content that is given to me, if this content is a true content or a fake one. So we have to compare the sources, right?
Yeah.
We have to compare the sources of the content.
Yeah, we have to measure it.
Yeah, to measure it, because social media is true. It has everything. It's another world, It has everything. For example, the other day I was explaining to the sister of my grandmother's sister, about the internet, about Facebook. It was difficult for me to explain to her. I just told her, it's a new world. You can imagine everything that happens in this world. So everything is there. And what came into my mind. Okay, I don't know if she was happy with the answer. Probably not. Probably she wasn't convinced. But I thought, oh my God, it's so difficult, to explain to the elders about this world. But it is a world. You understand?
Yeah, it is a world. Yeah.
Everything happens on social media.
On social media. It's a world of its own.
Yeah. So
it's a world of its own.
It is a world. We should keep our serenity.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, we should keep our serenity. We should have the tough capacity, because it's not easy. It's not taken for granted all the time. So to have this really capacity to filter what is positive and what is
And
negative,
negative.
what is less positive. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Because I think we will continue, you know, dealing with fake news. It won't stop
Mm-hmm.
for now.
Yeah, it
It
won't
won't
stop,
stop.
sure.
We will continue. We will continue with fake news, with hate propaganda. People will use social media to make terrorism, to make
Mm-hmm.
different crimes, mm? to make different
Yeah.
crimes, to make organized, transnational organized crimes, and so on, terrorism, and so on. So this is the world we face nowadays. This is the world we face nowadays. So we should keep our serenity, and we should influence the others, in order to gain more and more positive people, positive in terms of mind, positive in terms of
Yeah.
behavior, positive in
Yeah.
terms of people that really want to build peace. In 2 days,
Yeah.
we will enter into the peace month,
Yeah.
which is the month of September, which is my birthday month. My birthday is on the 21st of September, the International Peace
Wow.
Day. Yeah,
Wow.
the International Peace Day. Yes, yes. So, how can social media contribute to peace and development? Well, when you have so many good things like this, like what you do, like what so many good people do, they are building peace and
Mm-hmm.
sustainability.
Yeah.
They are building peace and sustainability. So social media is a main tool nowadays to build peace and sustainability. I think, in a short answer, we should, stay 3 or 4 hours talking about peace. Because, for example, peace to me is not only the absence of war, conflict,
Yeah.
war, but when someone don't have access to his basic human rights, it's difficult for this person to be in
Yeah.
peace. You know, when I
Yeah.
told you that we are in a world that we should be creative, it's because we have to be. It's a survival tool. Being creative is a survival tool. Because
Yeah.
how do you ask someone who don't have to feed his child to build peace? It's quite difficult, huh?
Yeah.
How you tell someone that don't have access to health to be in peace if he's seeing his person, his beloved ones dying?
Yeah.
So it's a challenging talking about peace in different situations that we face. But peace, we should seek it. Peace and development are so interlinked. They are so interlinked. Peace and
Yeah.
development, they are so interlinked. And one should use social media to make the peace messages, development to make the SDGs available to people, available to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So the social media has a main role in promoting peace and sustainability and sustainable development. Social media is a tool that you have that can promote, because it makes you to make the peace agenda, to the peace and the sustainable agenda available, right?
Yeah.
And through it, through the social media, you can gain more and more people to work for peace and sustainable development. So the
Yeah.
links, they are very interlinked. Peace and
Yeah.
development, they are so interlinked in a manner that social media is the tool, is one of the tools to promote global peace and sustainable development.
You are absolutely right.
Thank you.
You're absolutely right. You are. And just like you said, once there is peace, we can work together. Once there is peace, we can come together as citizens to
Yeah.
develop the world. You're
Yes,
absolutely right.
and we should build peace. Build it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much. It's been an amazing night. Honestly, I am so excited. You've
Thank
really,
you.
really
I hope
impacted us. You've
it was.
okay. Go ahead. You've really, really impacted us. You've really, really
No, I
opened
was
our eyes.
saying. I hope it was useful for you and for your audience. And because
Yes, yes,
sometimes
yes.
we have this feeling that, oh my God, I only said no senses.
No, you really, really. In fact,
Because we
I can see
diplomats, we
their
say a lot of
comments.
nonsense.
No, no. Oh, who said you guys say a lot of nonsense? Of course not. You people are contributing to the development of the world, and we need you people because diplomats keeps the world in. They keep the world sane. Like they have to show us the way. Okay, everybody, the world is going crazy. People are going about doing things, but we need people to tell us that we need to come together. We need to do it like this. Okay, the
Yes.
world needs diplomats like you in order to be able to carry out the goals that has been created or set aside. So it's really been an amazing time. It's really been an amazing night with you. I learned a lot, and I believe my audience have also done the same. Please guys, let me know in the comment section if you've gotten value from this video. Let me also know the questions that you have and you would love to ask Janice. Please kindly drop it in the comment section so that she can take one or two questions before we call it a day. It's really, really been an impactful section. It's really, really been an eye-opening section. What stood out for me mostly was the fact that the solution that we are seeking for, the solution that we are desperately seeking for, lies within us. We have to look within in order to bring it out. And honestly, if you feel that you are not getting the opportunities, go create your own opportunities. Don't sit around waiting for opportunities to come to you. You have to go out there and create the opportunities yourself. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing section. Do you have any final words for us? Do you have any, conclusion, something to wrap up the webinar for tonight?
Take a
What
picture.
will you love us?
Take
Okay.
a picture. Take
Okay,
a
let me
picture right
take
now.
a
I'm gonna tell you why I'm asking you.
Wow, okay. Just give me a
So
second. Give me a second.
I'm
I'm
gonna
about
ask,
doing that.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why I'm asking you. You're gonna laugh.
Okay. Ah, really?
Have you taken it?
Okay. Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. I just did. Tell me.
I was coordinating. Yeah,
Yeah.
You just took it. Okay. I was coordinating a
Okay.
program, a UN program, in a country, and someone came for the midterm
Okay.
evaluation. This happened, 18 years ago or 17 years ago. And at the end of in the first meeting, I welcomed the team of the evaluators, and they heard about the program I was coordinating, etc. And one of them said, Dr. Janice, you are doing a wonderful job. The only thing is that you don't have pictures to show your work.
Wow. Wow.
And since then, I told him, yes, it's true that we don't take a lot of pictures. And, this history, pictures, pictures, they are
Okay.
the proofs
Yeah, they're
of what
social
we
proofs
do.
of
So that is
Yeah,
why,
yeah.
yes, yes. And since then, I started taking pictures all the time. And another
Wow.
episode has to do with in 20 in 20 2000 and 2006 2008. No, it wasn't 2008. 2012. Sorry, Sandra.
Okay.
I had I had a kidney tumor. I was about to
Wow.
die. Fortunately, I didn't
Wow.
die. And since then, I saw the importance, to take pictures and make videos.
Okay. Wow. Those are
You know,
memories.
so that is why I'm telling you. Yeah, that is why I'm telling you. Take pictures. We're gonna post it. Yeah. So those of you who
Wow.
have your projects, just buy a camera and take picture, because pictures,
Pictures.
they will help you to mobilize. No, we are blogging, etc., but this is very serious. Pictures, they
Mm-hmm.
help one, a startup,
Yeah.
to mobilize
Mm-hmm.
resources.
Yes,
So
they
pictures
do.
are a resources mobilization tool. So take pictures
Mm-hmm.
and make
Yeah.
videos. Thank you, Sandra.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Honestly, it's been an impactful section. I can see some of the comments said, someone said so much value.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
much
Thank
value.
you.
Okay, and she also said happy birthday in
Oh,
advance.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Happy birthday in advance. And
Thank
another one
you,
says,
Benita.
thank you, ma'am.
Benita.
Yeah, Benita says, thank you, ma'am. So
Thank you,
thank you
Benita.
so much. Thank you so much. So I guess they don't have any questions because I cannot see any question here. So I'm guessing they got so much value from the section. They don't have any questions here. It's been an amazing night. It's been an amazing time with
Thank you.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you so much for honoring us with your presence. And I believe we are going to do more of this. We are going to do more of this. Thank you so much. You're still taking the
Thank
pictures.
you. Yes.
Thank
You got me. Okay. So no more pictures. I think I have 30 or 40.
Yeah. All
Thanks a
right.
lot, Sandra.
Thank
I
thank
thank
you
you
so
very
much.
much for the session. And may
You're
God bless
welcome.
you and your audience and all of
Bless you
you that
too.
were with us today. And just be strong, be safe, wear the mask, because we should recognize and
Yeah,
make
stay
this
safe.
recommendation. Yes,
Of
stay
course.
safe, and we are together. And don't forget,
Yeah.
you are unique in this world. What do you do matters to change the world and make it a better place.
Yeah. Thank you
Thanks a
so
lot.
much.
I
Thank
think
you.
yesterday was Michael Jackson's birthday. I think so.
Wow.
Yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Wow.
So Sandra, thanks a lot. My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
And
Thank you. Hey guys, it's been an amazing section. It's been an amazing night with our guest speaker Janice. If you're just joining, please kindly go catch the replay. Get so much value from all that she has shared today. Maybe later today or tomorrow, I'll be doing a recap of what she shared with us through the live video. Thank you so much for sticking around. It's been 1 hour plus of amazing value. Thank you so much, Ekaite, for staying with us till the end. Thank you so much, Benita. Thank you so much, and see you tomorrow. So do have a good night's rest. Yeah.